We all know that politics is a cesspool, but what happens when it gets in bed with nonprofits? Now that's a whole new breed of ugly. You guys remember Katie Hill, former Congresswoman from California, who in 2019 had to resign due to an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate?
A fall from grace for a California Congresswoman once seen as a rising star in the Democratic Party. Freshman Katie Hill just announced she is resigning amid a bizarre scandal involving racy photos and an alleged affair with a congressional staffer. She just tweeted this: "It is with a broken heart that today I announce my resignation from Congress. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I believe it is the best thing for my constituents, my community, and our country."
Not ideal, not what we're looking for, and unfortunately a little too far common, I think. But I'll say this, her ex-husband Kenneth Haslip, not a great dude either, allegedly leaking a bunch of intimate photos to the press as revenge for her divorcing him. Well, the good news for Katie is that she is back, this time as a homeless nonprofit CEO. Yeah, many people don't know this, but before Congress, she was the executive director of a huge homeless nonprofit called PATH, People Assisting the Homeless. PATH, by the way, is a $160 million nonprofit organization, nonprofit in quotations. I've talked a lot about them in a previous video that went super viral on Instagram and TikTok about how they were granted $17 million to run a homeless shelter in Venice Beach that ended up housing 0 people. Another one of their shelters in Santa Ana reported statistics that showed that it only helped 35 people exit homelessness in 1 year, or about 3% of homeless people who passed through its doors, all while receiving $7.8 million of taxpayer money. Like I always say, I'm not an expert, but something is clearly wrong here. One former program manager said that they were just, quote, chasing the tax dollars and not really trying to help the homeless. At one point, Katie even hired her husband, now ex-husband, who himself said that he was not qualified for the job and only worked there because of her, quote unquote, influence. And no kidding. I mean, this guy's too much. But anyway, after a few rough years, Katie has officially made her comeback as the new CEO of a homeless nonprofit called Union Station Homeless Services, which is all fine, good for her, but here is where it gets a little sketchy. Because not only did she get that job, she was also appointed to serve on the board of the LA Homeless Services Authority. We've talked about them quite a bit, a monstrously fraudulent agency, allegedly, be it not being able to track where billions of dollars in funding went, all while homelessness has gone up, or their CEO, Valicia Adams Kellum, Miss Big Pearls, funneling money to her husband's organization. But most importantly, in this context, the agency is conveniently in charge of doling out funds to homeless nonprofits, including, as you see here, her new gig at Union Station. So just so we're all 100% clear here, Katie Hill now serves on the board of the organization that is in charge of distributing funds to the nonprofit that she also leads. It's like putting the fox in charge of the hen house. And if you read the press release of Union Station Homeless Services, they telegraph explicitly why Katie is being hired in the first place. Quote, Ms. Hill brings a proven ability to manage and scale large organizations. As executive director at PATH, she grew the annual budget from $5 million to $50 million and managed a staff of 500 employees. That's the whole game. How much money can you siphon from taxpayers? That is why she's being hired, for her connections and her influence. You'll notice nothing in this presser about how many people she's housed or how many people she's gotten off the streets, because those statistics don't matter to them. They're irrelevant. I got the best comment the other day. Hey, if I were getting paid $500,000 to figure out something that would make my job irrelevant, I wouldn't figure that problem out. I mean, would you? I think the big takeaway for me here is Katie Hill's career path from Congress to nonprofit CEO is just one example of the seamless shuffle between public office and taxpayer-funded nonprofits, all with little to show for it. This is the 5149 Show. My name is James Lee. If you want to see more stories that actually hold these people accountable, make sure to like and subscribe, because I'm exposing each and every one of them one thread at a time. Thank you so much for watching.
The entire homeless industry is about stealing tax money, stealing donor money, and then spreading it around to friends and relatives by giving them high-paying positions. That is the primary reason these exist. So no wonder $2 billion disappears and nobody knows where it went, because they have zero interest in helping the homeless. None whatsoever.